Hey folks, and welcome to Drinking Alone with Friends, a podcast where three friends drink alone together. My name's Chris.
What up, COPT Tud?
And I'm Obert. And I'm glad to know that the fame has not gone to your head.
Oh.
I was a little worried after last week. Chris went on a couple long rants, but I'm glad to know that you're staying grounded, humble, not letting your perfect score get out of hand.
No, I'm just here today in my general everyday outfit of my mink coat, my diamond-studded glasses. I got a fresh haircut.
I will say that is a nice monocle you have. I really like the monocle. And that's a very nice cane.
I was going to say,
stylish cane.
The cane for me is a bit much, but
it's the monocle of the people, and it's the cane of the common man.
And to be honest, I really am digging the peanut costume. I think it's a nice touch.
The tuxedo of perfection.
Listen, can't stop, won't stop. Going for it again.
I mean,
I thought it was an interesting choice to be the 3-nut peanut. You know, that was a weird choice, but
that is true.
You went with it.
That is true, yeah.
Listen.
And it's funny that you mention, going for it again, because there's a theme to this episode, guys. You probably picked up on it already.
Yeah,
it is.
Yes, so second chance beer reviews.
That's right. We're doing them. We're going back to breweries that we once snubbed, perhaps. Said, maybe they didn't get a fair shake. Maybe this is their chance to have a second chance.
To win our praises.
Yeah.
Right.
We're like the guy, the emperor in the Colosseum with his thumb. We're like not giving it the thumbs down. Not giving it the thumbs up, we're giving it a second chance.
Right. We decided that there were some breweries that we've had in the past that deserved a second chance given that the praise that we had heard about them, and we thought we'd bring them back today so everybody can kind of get one more second chance to see if they actually did suck or if they're actually good breweries. Now,
outside of breweries, have you guys ever given a second chance to something IRL and been glad you did?
I can't say I have. I don't know. Off the top of my head.
Chris is like a one chance kind of guy. He's like, you get one strike, and then I'll never go back.
I mean, I'm usually the type of person who's willing to try everything once. But, I mean, maybe there's been some, like, food that I've tried twice that I didn't like the first time. But nothing is coming to mind. Breweries, I do a lot. Because I have, as we all know from 100 and some odd episodes ago, there's the TUD rule for breweries where you go to a brewery when it opens, and if it sucks, you have to go back in 6 months to see if it's gotten better. Because usually it takes about 6 months for a brewery to dial in.
Same with restaurants and stuff. That's how I feel too.
Yeah, that's actually a good call out. Yeah, I that's a good philosophy to have with breweries and I guess restaurants. So, but yeah, no, other than that, can't think of anything except for Dawn Power Wash. It's the only thing.
Tried it once, you were lukewarm. Second time, you were like, oh, I just didn't turn the sink hot enough. And then you're like, this Dawn Power Wash is working great.
Yep, that's exactly how it works. It's greatest thing ever.
Well, hopefully we can change people's minds today with our second chance beer reviews.
It's beer 30, and I'm thirsty. I've been working like a dog all week long, so maybe something cold won't hurt me. 'Cause it's beer 30, and it's time to party. Yeah, baby.
Yes, child.
So I actually think I have a third chance beer review, believe it or not.
Well, that is not the theme of the episode. Go get a new beer.
Okay. Well, let's delete the last beer from my memory. Okay, so this is a beer I've had on the podcast exactly one time, this brewery, before. And this is from friend of the pod, Sal. Sal, thanks a lot for sending this beer. It's been staring me down on the counter for a long time. But I've been saving it because I knew we were doing this second chance beer review. This is from Lock City.
Lock City, bitch. Lock City.
Yeah. And I was not a fan of the last one I had from them. But then Sal pointed out in our Discord that I had the OJ on parole from them, which was actually pretty good.
Very good.
So this is, we're going to see if this could be a return to form for Lock City. This is their Shake Your Booty. It's got a cool, I think you could say like 90s Trapper Keeper color theme behind a blaring boombox with some good like clip arty font or Word Art, I guess, back in the day. You guys remember that Word Art, Microsoft Word?
Was that with Clippy?
Yeah. This is like Word Art. Spice up your PowerPoints and stuff with it. But you know, and I don't know why I thought this was an IPA. I mean, I thought this was a stout, but threw it on the fridge. Took a closer look today, and it's actually a lactose IPA, milkshake IPA, maybe. I don't know. We'll see. Let's pour our shake your booty. Oh wow, this is a total crisp pour here. I was pouring this like I was pouring my stout earlier. Ooh, it smells really good. It smells yummy. See, now I'm kind of regretting waiting so long. I thought this was a stout. I was like, yeah, we could do it whenever. Now that I'm realizing, can February 10th. So it's not ancient, but it's older than most IPAs I like to drink. You know, it's only May.
True.
You know,
Is it cold?
It is cold.
Okay.
I actually I have a thermometer here. Let's find out. Let's find out the temperature of this beer.
This is a new level. Are we playing guessing games on what temperature does the thermometer?
Well, you guys don't know. I've stuck this beer in the fridge for an hour before, in the freezer for an hour before recording. We're getting a little temperature reading here. It says it's 48.2. A little warmer than I would like my IPA to be, but it's lactose-y. It might work, you know. But that's the official temperature reading. Use it for steaks and now IPAs. Who would have thought? Let's see. Yeah, if I can salvage this crisp pour. I think the trick is to pour the beer on the foam. Then you break the foam down.
It's almost like we have the expert right here live in person who can answer the question of how to salvage a crisp pour.
You got to use the old nose grease trick, you know, all that stuff.
That is an epic crisp pour.
Yeah. Although, so look at this thing. This is
it's really nice looking.
We call this a beer you can't find in most places in Montana. This is thick and juicy for sure. Total haze boy. Make any haze boy jealous looking at this. Nice in that tannish yellow. Just a real juice bomb. And it smells a lot of that citra juiciness. Let's see what the can has to say. As a Lock City OG, Shake Your Booty is an IPA carefully crafted using milk sugar. An indulging mouthfeel lends itself to fruity and tropical flavors of grapefruit, bright orange, mango, gooseberry, stone fruit, and bubblegum with a surprising malt balance. You know, that's I've used bubblegummy before. I'm glad this is the first time I've ever read it on some literature. I get that. You know what it smells like to me? What are they? Are they Connecticut Valley now? What's their flagship called?
Trailblazer.
This smells like a Trailblazer, which is a good sign for sure.
Yeah, there's definitely worse things for it to smell like.
Oh man, just smelling this beer makes me wish I was back in Connecticut. Not gonna lie.
Hey, we're always accepting new people to move back. It's a little bit more expensive than it used to be, but you can still buy a house. That's good. You can't buy a house in Whitefish anymore. My neighbor listed their condo for sale, and it's the same identical unit to what I have, right? But it's like literally double what I paid for my condo 3 years ago. So I'm like, well, fuck. Guess I can't move. Guess I'm stuck in this condo for as long as I want to live in Whitefish, right? That'll rent it out, but then you got to live somewhere else, right? Then you got to pay inflated value for the new place you want to live. So what are you going to do? Talk about beer. That's what I'm going to do. Let's dive in. You want to hit me with a drop? I'd already played Beer 30. I'll get you another drop. Hang on.
You did?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, I can just go.
Nope.
I like beer. It makes me a jolly good fellow.
You asked for
I
this.
like beer.
This is your fault.
It helps me unwind, and sometimes it makes me feel mellow.
You did 100% ask for a second drop, so you got that.
That's fair. It's good. I didn't have any doubt smelling it that I was going to like this. I knew upon the smell taste that it was going to be a minimum of a 4.
Ooh.
But I alluded to Trailblazer, but this has the lactose, which I didn't get on the nose. Definitely much more of that mouthfeel than the nose taste. It's got that adds that rich creaminess, which I really don't think you need in this beer. I think it'd be fine without the lactose, but it's still a really tasty IPA. They said on here that it's a Lock City OG. I can see why that they keep it as part of their rotational lineup or regular all-time lineup. I don't know. It's good. They went through all of the fruits that it could be on here. I don't know what a gooseberry tastes like, but...
Tastes like snozberries.
Maybe. I am the goose expert of the podcast. You guys have the fruits. I get the fowl. I get the waterfowl. Definitely tons of that grapefruit, citrusy, rounded out with the milk sugar from the lactose. There's just something a little different about this. Just that haziness. It's just pure hop goodness that only breweries in Connecticut seem to be able to do. I don't know.
We are pretty good at that type of
It
flavor.
tastes like home. It tastes like home. That's the best I can say for this beer. It's a 4.25 from me. This is a high one.
Wow.
4.5 I reserve for special beers. 4.25 I reserve for damn good beers, and that's what this comes in at. 4.25.
That's very solid.
Redeeming themselves. Lock City. I'm liking it. I'm glad I gave you a second chance.
So, out of 2,238 ratings, what do you think the Untapped-verse has averaged this out to be?
Well, I think they like it. I think they like it quite a bit. Definitely more than a 4. I think it's like a 4.22.
So, it is over a 4. You are correct on that front, but it is not that high. It is a 4.04.
Oh, wow. Okay. Quite a bit lower than I thought it was going to be. And like I said, maybe I was just enamored by the fact that I haven't had a Connecticut IPA in so long. It's just like such a welcome taste from home. But if you live there, maybe you're like, nah, they all taste like this.
Yeah, if I would have had it, I probably would have guessed a 4.04.
Maybe, but I don't expect to be mad at the people, but you got to write on the board. You never know what could happen.
That is true.
So anything could happen. What am I? 0.18 off?
0.18, yep. It's on the board.
He's on the board.
On the board, and I got some catching up to do, guys. You guys both got it right the last 2 weeks. We haven't talked about the scoreboard in a while here, but Chris is at 5 tallies. Tud's at 6 tallies. I'm only at 2. So
We can't even see so Obert's so far behind that he has moved the webcam away from us seeing the scoreboard.
Yeah.
yeah. Well, there you go. I put it back in the frame with that beautiful, beautiful swan honking its way for gloriness.
Yeah, he didn't want it on camera because now every time he looks at the computer screen, he can glance at it and see that he's so.
I do have to
behind.
imagine that the reason you moved it was because of work. Because I imagine that you don't want to attempt to explain whatever that part of that whiteboard is in the background.
No, it's the dual monitor situation I got going on here. So with the 2 monitors, like for you to see the webcam, I can't twist my webcam left to right. It's just mounted on the top of my monitor. So if I don't have the nice concave of my monitors, now it's perfectly flat, which you can see the board just fine. But now I feel like
Couldn't you just move the webcam to the other monitor?
Oh, you could do that. You want to do that? We could do that. And now I'm not going to be looking at you for the rest of the episode, though. I hope that's okay.
You could also just switch. You could switch what's on different screens.
Well, no, that's the bad monitor.
He wants the good monitor.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, I'm glad that I gave Lock City a second chance because they really pulled through with this Shake Your Booty. I liked a lot more than the people, than the Chris. But Chris, what do you have for second chance?
Okay, so to be fair, I only drink good beer, so I don't have any bad beers on the podcast. You can go back and check.
You don't have any Coconut Bay Mango Seltzer?
No, unfortunately, I don't.
Part 2?
I don't have any of those. But so I you know what? I took a different tack, and because I'm so good at drinking beer and drinking good beers, I've decided to test the worthiness of one of the beers I really enjoyed. One of the breweries I really enjoyed. And, I was excited to see this in the store because I know we talked about it and how I thought I've had this beer, but I have not had this beer or anything from them. And that is Deschutes Brewing. So I was able to find their fresh squeezed IPA.
Ooh, I like that IPA too.
That's a good one. That's their classic. That's their go-to.
And so I was pretty excited to see this. So as y'all remember, I had the Black Butte. Was it called?
The Black Butt.
That's what I call it. Ted calls it something different.
Whoa, Black Beauty. But we so I saw this. I know this is like their flagship, their mainstay. Everybody talks about it. So and I don't see Deschutes very often. So 3/01/21 is the can date. I'm pretty excited. I've not checked this into Untapped. despite me wrongly thinking so. So here we go.
I
Deschutes.
think this is a good second chance because the Black Butte is such a different beer than the Fresh Squeezed. It's basically like you're giving them a fresh start, kind of.
Yeah, it's
How
like
do
I'm
you
giving
compare
them
an
a fresh
IPA to a
squeeze.
barrel aged. Yeah.
So for those of you that don't know, this is an IPA, and it says impossibly juicy, undeniably refreshing, freshly squeezed. No fruit was harmed in the making of this beer. 60 IBUs, so little lower on the IBU scale than.
I gotta say, I'm kind of upset that no fruit was harmed in the making of this beer.
No, you fruit annihilators.
So because this is a West Coast, even though it's despite saying juicy, is West Coast style through and through. You can tell just from the color of it. It's like a dark brown.
That doesn't look right.
Does it not look right?
I don't know. We'll find out.
I don't know. That's very dark.
It's very
Yeah.
dark. I was not expecting it to be this dark. So
That's
now,
like a dark, where like mine was like a light orangey yellowish haze. Chris is like a dark golden amber, not even golden, just like a dark like kidney failure urine amber.
Yeah, like if you
Yes.
told me that was like a raspberry sour, I'd be like, that's the color I expect it to be.
Yeah, so I'm wondering. I might have to venture onto Untapp'd and look up pictures that people are posting to make sure that this is the right color, because it's not what I expected either. I expected more of a hazy boy, but
You know what? I can help you out. I can do that for you.
in that case, maybe we do give a second chance of this beer. No,
I
so,
know, right?
So that
It looks like it varies in color. Sometimes it is as dark as yours, and sometimes it is a nice picture like that.
okay, that is lighter than this. So yeah, okay. So hey, we'll see. Let's see what happens. So on the nose, I'm not gonna lie, it's not as juicy as I was thinking or hoping for. I get a slight hint of like a citrusy kind of something, but definitely more malt on it than I was expecting. So let's see what the mouth smells like. Okay, this is interesting. I know the hop hype behind this beer in this brewery, but this doesn't taste super juicy to me. This
Not
is
impossibly juicy.
not impossibly juicy. No, I get a very heavy amount of pine on the front. And it's West Coast. We don't normally drink West Coast style beers. So the pine I understand, but then I do get some fruitiness in the middle, but it's not super it's not enough to overpower the pine taste that you get hit with first. Also a little bitter. I'm surprised it's only 60 IBUs, but maybe I got a higher batch. I don't know. Okay. So a couple more sips, and I'm starting to pick up some of that fruit back. And the bitterness, I think my tongue's getting accustomed to the bitterness and the pine. So I am picking up a little bit more like citrus notes in the middle. It's not incredibly juicy. I will say that. It's not a bad beer. Definitely different than what I'm used to. Not what I expected. I was expecting. Oh damn! I should have done these beers in reverse. Apparently, the Black Butte could have been the second chance. Because this is a good beer, but it's not what I expected. Based on the can description and based on people saying how good it is. It's not bad. It's not my style more so than anything else. I think that's fair to say. We talk about it all the time. There's a bunch of East Coast bias in this podcast. So
That is true.
yeah, and hey, it's what we grew up with, so it only makes sense. It is good though. It's a well done beer. Not quite for me. I'm gonna give it a generous 3.75. I was in between 3.5 and 3.75. So
Well, I will say you are the third co-host to check this beer in.
Correct.
So I gave it a 3.5, and Tud gave it a 3.75. So I think we're kind of all in line here.
okay, so maybe
It being right in that range that you were talking about.
okay, all right, okay. In that case, I feel a little better by it. So as I was expecting like this juicy hop bomb, and I mean I just get pine and a little bit of juice in the middle. It's not bad. It's like I said, generous.
With the name of Fresh Squeezed and the picture on the front of a hop and a vice grip being squeezed into the beer, you're like, oh, this is going to be just like super hoppy deliciousness.
That's
and
a
with
fresh
the
squeezed
description
hop.
right up top. Yeah. It's not, doesn't quite live up to the name.
No, and like the more I drink it, it gets a little bit more palatable, like in the front, and I pick up some more floral notes towards the end. But again, not impossibly juicy. So yeah, I mean it. I'm glad I have it. I bought a 6-pack of it because I saw it and I was like, ooh, I want to try. So I'm glad I have it. I'm glad I had it. But yeah, a generous 3.75. I'm probably like a 3.6 something. Untapp'd. I have an idea. I think I know where it's going to be, but I want to know how many check-ins. How many check-ins is it?
348,000.
Holy shoot! Okay.
I don't know if your guess would have been different if I had said 10,000, but that's how many there are.
Okay, I had
382,000 too many check-ins. Chris can't guess anymore.
No.
Yeah.
Well, now I'm reconfiguring. I'm reconfiguring.
You got to stick with your gut.
No, because I feel like it's too high. I feel like I was thinking it was too high because I know Deschutes has a big hop hype surrounding it. But I think people really like this beer. I think like West Coast, like folks that grew up on the West Coast, I think this is like, yeah, this is the beer that I want to drink all the time. All right, fine. 3.94.
Pretty close. It's a 3.92.
Okay. I'll take that.
But you talk about the hop pipe. Like I said, it's kind of like the West Coast Harpoon. Like there's not a lot of hop pipe for Harpoon. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
that's
true.
They're your old standby.
I thought you said it was like the West Coast Sam Adams, but I guess Sam Adams is bigger now. So
no, yeah, I think it's the West Coast Harpoon. It's my analogy. But yeah, you're pretty close. You said 3.94.
Yeah,
that's what
0.02.
That's what my friend averages. So
hey.
My friends are a man of
nope,
Chris.
That does not count.
Chris of the friends. Chris of the Obert's friends.
Yeah.
So, actually, I have a funny little story. You mentioned Harpoon. So we're obviously big fans of Harpoon, and Dana went to the Total Wine down here, and there was a UFO mix pack with a couple different UFO beers, which is for those unfiltered offering from Harpoon. Is what that is, and generally they're like wheat beers with like I don't know, there's a bunch of flavors and stuff like that. But I didn't know that they have now split the brands. It's still the same brewery, but Harpoon and UFO are now different brands, which is kind of interesting. And I'll actually hold on, I'll get a can. I'll show you.
I've never heard of this. I mean, based on your reaction, Todd, it seems like old news to you.
I mean, I don't know if I ever noticed this, but yeah, I think UFO is just. I think they just put that in the box. Doesn't it say Harpoon at the top of that can?
Nope.
Or no?
Nope. I was drinking it on stream last night.
As Todd's soundboard would say, nope.
Nope. Yeah, no, it's UFO Beer Company.
Weird.
So
I like that.
I noticed. I was like, that doesn't say. And on stream last night, I was having a few of these, and I was like, did they sell UFO or did UFO like split? I don't know how but so it's the same brewing, Mass Bay Brewing Company. So it seems as though instead of having Harpoon, they made Mass Bay Brewing Company, or it always was Mass Bay Brewing Company, and they now own UFO beer and Harpoon, which I thought was so weird. I didn't realize. I don't know. It threw me for a loop though, as someone who grew up from infancy drinking Harpoon. It really caught me. It caught me for a loop, and I was like, "Oh, very."
It is very weird because on like Untapp'd, UFO beer comes up as a separate brewery from Harpoon.
Yeah,
You guys ever feel like you're an old curmudgeon? You ever feel like you see something different and you're like, I like things when they were old. I like things that they were better before they changed the things. That's how I feel with this. I'm like,
I do too. I'm not happy with this.
They have stupid new font, a stupid new graphic design, and it's a stupid beer.
Yeah,
I'm just upset about it.
I could safely say that I am not happy.
Yeah,
I was confused. I don't hate it now that I know it's the same, like, but I don't know. It was weird. It was weird, and it threw me for a loop. And everybody's like, "Are you drunk?" And I was like, "That's beside the point."
You have to listen to me be angry about this.
Be confused. I had to look it up after stream. So that's a little fun New England beer fact for everybody.
So then I guess I would say that out of the two breweries that fall underneath this umbrella, I am a bigger fan of UFO than I am of Harpoon.
Really?
Yeah, because all of Harpoon's offerings I always I always went with the UFO offering just because I liked them better. I like the unfiltered style. I like that UFO white is delicious. You know, the UFO pumpkin, which I'm assuming is a UFO beer now. I like that one a lot better. I think their hazy beers are good kind of go-tos. I don't know, like Camp Wanamango, is that Harpoon now or is that UFO?
I assume that was Harpoon because that was never a UFO thing. Like UFO is like the one I had are like Maine blueberry, Georgia peach, white, and a new one called, I don't know. It's a light 94 cal beer. But yeah, so that threw me for a loop last night, and I wanted to share it. So I'm glad you mentioned Harpoon.
Well, now they've just kind of
Turned the world upside down.
Yeah, I don't know if I can go on, but alas,
That's it.
I must.
Nope. Tud can't go on. So honk, 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 honk. Chris of people. Todd, what you got?
So for the second chance episode, I brought back a beer that I only had a few weeks ago, or a brewery that I only had a few weeks ago, and that is Colorblind Artisanal Ales. So the last time I had this, I don't remember the beer I had, but this week I brought Depth. That's a very hard word to say on a podcast and pronounce it correctly. Depth Perception, which if you look at it, this is the purple one. You can barely see the hop in it if you're colorblind. If you're not colorblind, you can easily see the yellow hop inside of the purple circle.
What purple circle?
I can easily see it. Chris seems like he is struggling.
I was just messing with you. I can totally see the hop.
One quick comment. People in Montana can't say that word, depth. Maybe they can, but they can't say the word height. They say height.
Oh, it drives me bananas. It happens down here too.
Really?
Yes.
I thought it was like a Montana thing, but then one of my coworkers is from Texas, and he says height too. And I'm like, there's no H after the T. It's just height. Like, I don't know if they would say depth wrong, but...
Does your Texas coworker also say what? Because all of my Texas coworkers say what, and it drives me insane.
It's a little bit of that, but not as much as the H after the T in words that end in T.
You said he was from Texas?
Well, no, it seems like everyone in Montana speaks that way. So I don't know. Maybe it's just me as being a Connecticut person who pronounces it the right way, and the other 49 states are wrong. I don't know. It could be a thing.
I know it happens down here too, because like I had to listen to like some of my senior managers that like just say the words wrong, and I'm like, no, it's not height. It's not height. I'm sorry. If you say height, I apologize. You're wrong. It's height.
We're anti-height on this podcast, and if you want to write in defending height, we will ignore you. We don't want to hear it.
Correct.
Get out of here.
You won't even be acknowledged. I will go to the grave fighting.
But also, thank you for listening. We go to grave.
Thank you for listening. We appreciate you writing in. We won't read we're gonna print out your email and burn it.
I bet you Blevin says height. It just seems like a Blevin move.
He
probably invented it.
Say the word height correctly. So
maybe we're wrong then. Oh no.
Shit.
No.
But
so anyway, the depth perception.
Depth perception. But I will say that I will go to the grave saying that Connecticut people from Connecticut have the most pure American pronunciation out of every state. We don't have an accent if you come from here. We don't sound like the Bostonians. We don't sound like the Rhode Islanders or the New Yorkers. We are just strictly. We don't sound like the Southerners or the Montanaers. We have no accent. Fiend.
I will say I think Connecticut does not have an accent.
I agree. You talk to other people in New England, they also agree that Connecticut does not have an accent.
No, we're boring.
So, going back to this beer, it is described as this juicy double dry hop New England IPA is loaded with Citra and Talus hops, with notes of tropical fruits, citrus rinds, pine resin, and pink grapefruit. So let's check this out. So again, this is a 6.7% ABV IPA. It is brewed out of Thimble Island by Colorblind Beer.
Yeah, so you didn't like the first one that you had from Colorblind. You were like, I want to give these guys another shot.
Yeah, so I had heard really good things about Colorblind the first time I brought them on the pod. And in all honesty, I'd come in blind. Not to the color of the can, but to the quality of the beer. So I thought I would bring it back and give them, the vaulted second chance. And I believe this is where the the idea of a second chance episode came from was kind of a mind child between Obert and I saying, you know what, we should both review these two breweries again and give them a shot.
You don't want to throw it away.
No, we don't want to throw it away. I'm never going to throw beer away unless it's like really bad. And even then, I'll probably still drink it. As you can see, this looks less hazy than Obert's beer, but maybe not, I guess less hazy. It's less milky than Obert's beer. Obert's beer was extremely milky in its appearance, and this is a little bit more...
That looks delicious.
Hazy. It does look exactly like what you would expect a New England IPA to look like.
Yeah, I want to trade. Can we trade? Yeah, let's trade.
Some good translucency.
Oh wow, on the nose. This may work out for me, boys. Whew. It is nothing but tropical fruit pungency. It is just, I don't even know what tropical fruits I'm smelling. Maybe some oranges. It definitely smells like maybe clementine. I think that's the word I'm looking for. Like if I opened up like a halo, this is what I would expect to smell. Get a lot of that citra hop. I don't know what a talus hop is. I can't say that I've ever had one. And so therefore I can't draw conclusions about what that would taste like, but this smells like Citra. All right, let's dive on in. All right, so it's definitely different. It smells entirely different than what it tastes like. It's still very good. I like this one more than I like the last one. It's got a weird flavor to it though. So right off the bat, it is very juicy, a little bit sweet, but then it very much fades into a citrusy grapefruit rind backbone. It starts off way sweet, way orangey, and flips to very bitter, very fast. It's clear, it's crisp, it's clean. It doesn't really linger long in the mouth. You don't taste any malt at all, unlike the last one. I think I complained that it was a little too malty for me. This is a good beer. This is a crisp beer. If I had to guess a New England IPA that was a Chris IPA, this is a 4.5 for Chris.
Well, that intrigues me more.
Same. It's almost as if you should send Chris some.
Maybe I should. It's got a weird flavor to it that I can't quite pick out. It's got a flavor in the beginning, right after the citrusness, that's kind of like, I guess the only way to describe it is floral, but more particularly, it's what I would imagine potpourri would taste like.
And that's something that I would like.
I think because it's just for a split second. It goes like citrus, potpourri, really bitterness, grapefruit finish.
Todd's like, you know that second you walk into the Yankee Candle store? That's what this tastes like. And that's why Chris would like it.
It's got you know what? Maybe this is that vaunted bubblegum flavor that Obert always talks about. Like, it's just kind of like, it doesn't quite belong there, but it just kind of fits in there. But it's only there for like a second. Yeah, I'm going to describe it that way. It's like a bubblegum potpourri. Like, that like weird mix of like...
Like, you go over someone's house and they have the potpourri out. It's filled of Double Bubble and, Big League Chew and all that stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Get those aromas
A
wafting.
little bit of zebra stripe.
Ooh.
This is more like bazooka flavor.
Okay. Oh, I like those because it's dinner and entertainment because you get that little comic every time.
I like how you eat bazooka bubblegum for dinner.
Listen, it's tough times in the Beardhead household.
I'm imagining now like a bubblegum flight or like a bubblegum like charcuterie board of like all these different kinds of gum we mentioned. Like, we recommend you start with the Double Bubble. It's just a clean, Maybe we should transition our podcast, retire the whole beer thing, move on to braiding gum.
Oh man, let's see. Oh man.
So on the gum scale, with 1 being bazooka, because bazooka just dies out real quick, and 10 being,
I don't know if it's a linear scale. I feel like it's like the color wheel where there's
there you go. You
got
the tridents.
You got the
tridents.
The middle is white, and then every color of the rainbow is around the circle.
The orbits, the strides, the bazookas, the double bubble, the gum tape.
Yeah. What's that called?
Rope tape? Tape rope?
Tapeworm?
That's what it is. Tape rope. Not bubble tape. It's tape rope.
Bubble tape. There you go. Bubble tape.
There it is. Tape rope. You
got like
You know, they have that yard by the foot. You know,
the Big League Chew.
Big League Chew. I like this. I like the
Yeah.
bubblegum wheel. That's a good call.
All right, so next week is Minty Week. Everybody bring your favorite mint gum.
Dibs on Orbit.
you have to assign, instead of a scale of 1 to 10, it's like you have an x-axis value and a y-axis value from -1 to 1.
This is like a 0.37, 0.57.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I can see that.
What does ABC Gum app say about this? Well, out of 42,000
Guys,
users.
whoa! We said we weren't going to reveal our
Oh,
new project on the podcast.
That's a name too. That's the name. Holy shit! Already been chewed, man.
Oh man, this could be good. This could be terrible audio medium. Just 3 guys eating bubble
The
gum.
untapped of gum.
Unchewed, or rechewed.
Unchewed ABC.
No, I don't
ABC
know.
already been chewed.
With the you have to already been chewed, but the apostrophe D has to be in there.
Right. ABC'd.
ABCD.
Best app name ever. This is great.
Oh man, we've done it.
Well,
we've done it.
I know we wanted to name this episode Second Chance Beer Reviews, but I think ABC'd is what's going to take it.
Oh lordy,
All right. So for a rating,
I forgot where we were. I was like, I didn't know.
I'm reviewing a beer.
I was like,
are we in the middle of our second handle? I don't know.
as I'm drinking, I'm like, did I do my beer review yet? I forgot. Like,
Oh shit.
oh lordy.
I'm gonna give this. I'm gonna give it a 3.75. I think that it's closer to like a 3.9. It's just not quite at that 4.0. It's just that bubblegum potpourri middleness doesn't quite do it for me. So I think that means I've rated both of these beers a 3.75. I will say that I prefer Depth Perception to the other one that they had, which I'm drawing a blank on, but I don't want to pull up Untapped because I don't want to type in the brewery's name and be influenced by the rating of the beer.
That's fair.
But this is definitely better than the last one, at least in my memory. I do want to go to the source. I want to go to Thimble Island and try this again, directly out of the tap. I just feel like it's got to be a little bit different when it's poured out of the place that it's brewed. As far as an Untapped rating, I think they're going to be very close to what I think. So I thought it was a 3.9.
Was it the Dilated Eyes?
Yes, that's the other one.
It appears they only have 2 beers.
Oh,
That's it.
well, then
So that's interesting.
I've reviewed the
So
entire
you tried
brewery.
100% of their beers. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but I was like going through this and yeah.
Okay. I will give them this. Their IPAs taste different because they don't use standard hops, and they've got that weird funky flavor in the middle. That bubblegum flavor is persistent on this one as it was the last one. Good for them for having a unique flavor. Maybe it's just not my flavor. Maybe it's more Chris's flavor. I believe that when Chris eventually has this, Chris will give this a 4.25.
Okay.
Without a doubt in my mind.
Yeah, man. Todd Cleo says Chris gives it a 4.25, man.
Correct. That's my little Tud Cleo moment. It's coming through. But alas, this was not a Tud Cleo moment for my rating. But I am going to guess that this is a 3.92.
Well, Chris was 0.02 off, and you did not get it right, but you snuck under with a 3.93.
Damn it.
MOPT.
0.01 off.
Damn it.
This is amazing.
Oh my god. So mad.
Exactly correct last episode. 100th off this episode.
Damn it.
And
I'm just on fire.
Oh man.
364 check-ins. The Dilated Eyes has a average of a 3.94, so their average is about the same.
That is close.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's weird. I prefer the less popularly rated one. I mean, it's only by 0.01, but I prefer the...
Yeah. Man, I can't believe it's so much lower.
I can't believe
Damn
that
it.
I snuck in under the 0.01. I thought for sure with 0.02 there was no way in
Locking
hell.
it up.
Yeah, I felt pretty good, but then you said 3.9, and I'm like, oh no, you're gonna get it right 2 weeks in a row, and I'm gonna be so mad.
Oh my god, how awesome would that have been?
You were pretty damn close.
I felt it coming too. I felt it coming. I don't
Yeah,
know. It was the Jamaican spirits flowing through you. I feel like.
Oh,
that
see,
was
that's
part
not
of it.
fair.
Well, maybe you should start a Chris Cleo movement.
There we go. Okay.
Maybe you have to embrace your
Your
tarot
inner
side.
Jamaican.
I gotta.
Maybe
don't know.
the spirits have to reach through you. Have you considered buying a crystal ball or
Sure.
some tarot
Yeah.
cards?
Yeah. Pay attention to my handle.
Okay. Well, I can't believe it.
That's unreal. Crazy. God
Unreal.
damn it. I really I was like, maybe a tie. I don't know.
We've never had a tie either.
Well, since we started tracking,
Right. Right.
well, didn't we you each get half a
Yeah,
tick one time? We did have a
we've
tie.
tied. We've
Did we
tied.
tie?
Yeah.
What the hell? Where the hell was I?
You were part of the tie. You were tying me.
That's right. We did tie.
Yeah.
Shit.
I was 0.2. We were both 0.02 or something like that. Or something like that. I can't remember.
I think it was like more like 0.1 something off, and I was like, if you guys were closer, I wouldn't give you each a tick, but because you were so, yeah, you're right. You were pretty close, and I was like, since you're both pretty close, I'll give you each a full tick.
Yeah.
That's what we said.
Yep.
That's right.
I will say that historically, Chris and I have been very consistent with ratings on Untapped. Like, we're always kind of like right there with each other.
You guys are on the same page. And actually, we haven't talked about this in a while. Can you refresh our listeners? How many check-ins do you each have on Untapped?
I will say I have been super slacking, but for me, I'm closing in on 2,700. I'm at 2,694 right now.
I'm at 3139.
Damn.
Nice. Yeah. And
For a while,
I'm
Chris and I were like
Neck
exchanging
and
who
neck.
was
We
ahead.
were neck and neck, and then I had children.
Yeah.
And then
I'm nowhere near either of you guys. I'm still in like the hundreds. But
You're only in the hundreds? You haven't even
yeah,
crossed 1,000?
I don't really check in beers that much.
Chris, I think we need to find a new co-host.
yeah,
I'm at
Kiwi rated.
556 beers I've checked in.
You've had more than that on the podcast, probably.
I
he
know,
says without
I know.
checking anything.
But you know, it's not all about Untapped. It's about being man of the people. So with
it's
that,
not,
I'm
you're
going
right.
to say honk, 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 honk. Chris thought he had it locked up.
I
with a
did. I really
0.02.
did. I really did.
But-
I thought he did too, to be
Sneaking
perfectly
it
honest.
in. Honk, honk, honk. Honk, honk, honk.
Son of a biscuit.
With the 0.01, man of the people, here to tell us his handle as we transition to our final segment, our favorite segment. It's our Frosty Mug of Wisdom, where we tell you life advice, hacks, wisdom, things we like, products, places, people. I would accept a person as a handle. I don't know.
I got two of those that I want to put over.
Can you put
But,
can you put a person in a handle? Or a mug? I think that's illegal in multiple countries.
Well, let's find out. Let's ask Jordan. Jordan, take it away.
Test your handle. Test your handle. Test your handle. Test your handle. Mug of wisdom! Drink. Mug of wisdom! Finish that bravado. Chris. Tud. Obert. Popcorn and other animals. Mug of wisdom!
Now, Ted, I'll give you your honks, but I just want to say I find it strange that every week Tud hits a key to play an MP3 file of a recording that Jordan made where he says the word drink, and I feel compelled to drink all the time. Like, he says the word drink, and I'm like, okay, I'll drink. That's just what happens.
I feel like he's giving us subtle cues to finish our beers during that
He's
song.
commanding me, and I can't help but submit. But Jordan, thank you. Jordan wrecked my podcast. Check him out. Check out his podcast. It's great. We love Jordan here. One of our favorite co-hosts, guest co-host. But man of people, Tud, I don't know. Chris of People Tud?
I think it's been 2 weeks in a row. It's now Man of People Tud.
I don't know about that because I was the first person. I paved the way for you to get it right. You know what I mean? Like, that's what everybody's saying. Everybody's saying that.
You're right, but talk to me once you're within like one tally mark of me.
Well, I mean, if you take away your BS tally mark that you got from Sip of Sunshine, we're basically even. And
Heady topper.
Oh yeah,
Get
that's
the
right.
beer right.
Yeah, but still.
So to be clear, we're retiring the phrase "man of the people." Right? There's no MOTP anymore. Right? I just want to make sure that that's what's happening.
Well, at least when I win it, it is Man of People, Tud.
Okay.
And then,
like you're a doctorate. Like when you get your doctorate, you're like a doctorate of.
I think this is important. I want to know what everybody wants to be called. Tud wants to be called Man of People, Tud, MOPT. Chris, what are you?
I want Tud to be called Chris of the People.
So when you win, you want me to say Chris of the People, Tud.
No, when
Chris?
Tud wins, I want him to be Chris of the People.
Well, what do you want to be when you win?
I mean, I'm okay with being Man of the People. I'm okay with being
MOTP.
MOTP
Chris.
is fine, yes. But I want Tud to be Chris of the People.
I don't think you get a vote on that.
Who? Me?
You. Yeah.
No, I think as the gatekeeper to perfect scores. That's what they call me. That's what I want to be. I want to be the gatekeeper of perfect scores.
Okay, so we have MOPT, the gatekeeper. Okay. And then I think I feel a lot of pressure to come up with a nickname.
But you have weeks to decide because you may never win again.
That's true. That's a good point.
Oh, man. Oh, the gatekeeper. So good. I love it.
I think I should be like Obert of our Obert and just be like, ooh.
I like that one.
I like that
Okay.
too. So good.
We have MOPT, the gatekeeper, and ooh are our 3 victory names.
I mean, ultimately at this point, you guys may never
Man.
win again. So
It's possible.
I don't know. I mean, come on.
The curse has been lifted.
The curse has been lifted.
We've been 0.00, 0.00, and then 0.01. We're on quite a tear here, which I'm going to take a lot of credit for. So,
As the ooh.
that's you.
Oh, man.
So,
shit.
MOPT. Who's going first?
I mean, as is tradition, it's time for Chris to go first.
Oh, man. Why does it always have to be me?
Tradition.
Like, okay, so I always have, like, nowadays, I have one handle prepared. Oh, shit.
This is how we end up with Dawn Power Wash. He's looking around his kitchen aimlessly,
I'm trying to
figure out.
I'm trying to think of
You
something
guys
good.
ever use a sponge? In all seriousness, you use a sponge?
This is building off of a prior handle. You need one to use the other.
Chris is like door handles. You know, you need them. You can't live without them. Door
You ever
handles.
try and pick up like a stein of beer? Need someone to hold on to.
You know what? You had to get back and forth to work. Cars. Use them.
Cars are good, except when you have to pay so much money to fix them. Then they're not as good.
I just had to get my emissions done, and I also had to pay to like register my car in the stupid state. That's like a $200 adventure to like be able to drive for 3 years.
Move to Montana. No emissions here. You can spew whatever you want out there.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
Huh.
If you have
That
an over
is-
20-year-old car in Connecticut, you can do that too.
Same here, except for like the 20 years before that.
except for including all the other years.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, no, I have something. Okay. All right. So, I have a podcast that I want to put over. But
Always good to
not
put over another podcast.
well, okay, so but not for the reasons that you would probably normally think of a podcast. So, as you all know, I work at night, which means I sleep during the day, where it is number 1, bright out. Number 2, I have 2 kids that are all over the place, and then number 3, I have a wife who is often yelling at the 2 kids for some reason. And don't get me wrong, warranted all the time, but.
What I'm hearing,
You're like the daddy dragon in this scenario where it's like you're sleeping in your lair and it's like, don't wake daddy. Like, don't go near the dragon lair or you'll face his fiery wrath.
It's not quite like that, but
what I've learned is that Dana, this is Chris's way of telling Dana via a podcast that Dana is loud.
No. She is way more patient with the kids than I am because I do not put up with their crap. I'm like, no. You are going to listen to Dad.
Oh, so this goes exactly back to the daddy dragon.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I guess that's true. But anyway,
you're now dragon dad gamer.
Yes. Actually, I have a dragon themed streamer friend, so I can't take that. But anyways, so normally what I'll do is I'll put in my headphones and I'll put on a podcast or an audiobook or something like that, and eventually I fall asleep to it, which means if I don't set a sleep timer, which I never do because I'm not smart, I'll wake up and the podcast will be over or the book will be like 10 hours ahead, or well, not 10 hours, but hours ahead, and like trying to find my spot or going back in the podcast is always a pain in the ass. So there's actually a podcast that this guy puts out for people that just need something to fall asleep to, or for like he does it for like people with like insomnia and things of that nature, so they have something that can keep them occupied but still be relaxing of sorts, and it's called the Sleep With Me podcast.
Very suggestively named.
It is, but it is not in that way. So he's got 972 episodes, and literally it's this guy who talks in a very low and monotone voice, just like this, and talks about just random stuff. And the point of the podcast is it doesn't matter, like, if you finish it. Like, there's not really... He just kind of rambles. And there are themes. So, but the thought of the whole podcast is he helps you fall asleep. And if you miss an episode, it doesn't really matter unless you were like emotionally invested. But like, some of the ones I haven't made it very far into them. I kind of fall asleep pretty early, so it works.
Nice.
But
I think that's a good recommendation, though.
That's a glowing recommendation of the podcast.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's so like there's a few things where it's like he talks about the Great British Baking Show, which I love. So like I put on one of those.
So you were emotionally invested into that podcast?
No, honestly,
He was for the first 3.5 minutes, and then he fell asleep.
I've listened to a couple episodes, but I've never gone back and re-listened, because the whole point is that, he, like, sometimes he'll talk about, like, a game he played, and, like, he'll literally just sit there and go over, like, how to set up and play the game, and it's just like, well, that, like, you don't have to know that. It's really weird, but if you have trouble sleeping or falling asleep or staying asleep or whatever, check it out, because it has helped me fall asleep, and then I don't lose track in all the podcasts and books and all that stuff that I actually care about, that I don't want to lose my spot in. So, so check it out, the Sleep With Me podcast. It helps me sleep. Maybe it'll help you. Who knows?
That's a great handle. Yeah, I will say
that is a really good handle.
I have my own version of that, and that is watching golf on Sundays on TV. Like, Sunday's a great nap day to begin with.
I gotta watch the golf, man.
But like, you put the golf on, they talk in the voice, and they tell you about the players and what they're gonna do, and that beautiful swing, and like that voice just gets me, and I'm just like, time to close my eyes, time to make myself a little bit more horizontal here, and pass out. But Chris, have you listened to the podcast The Empty Bowl?
I have not. No.
It's a serial review podcast featuring, I know, one of your favorite podcasters, Justin McElroy, and it's a meditative, relaxing podcast that I think you might enjoy in the similar vein. So in this thought process of second chance beer reviews, I will add that on as a handle you should check out. You should look at The Empty Bowl as a nice meditative, relaxing. Like, they play like little like wave whooshes and like sea noises underneath the podcast to kind of help relax you. I think you'll really dig it.
Okay, I just subscribed, so
sweet.
I will check that out.
There's like a 50 episode backlog too. So
yeah, and not quite 972, but
no, but I think you'll enjoy it.
Yeah, so there you go.
Well, now that we are in the mood, I will go next.
Oh my God. I just had like horrific flashbacks of sleeping in the same room as one of you.
Or at my bachelor party where Brad, Chris, and I all slept in the same room. That was... I don't know how the house stayed standing.
At least it was just us. Like, I think, honestly, because all three of us can saw some logs. And...
But you would think that we'd like, Obert as an engineer knows that, like, eventually you hit, like
You get
like
that resonance.
There's like a vibration pitch where like there's a chance we could topple the entire structure if we hit the right note.
The brown note, if you will.
Yes,
You
I
guys
do know somebody
on a
who
different
killed their iPod by running at the right frequency as the iPod was turning and like bricked the iPod.
That was me.
Famous runner, Chris.
So my handle this week is a second chance handle given the theme of the episode. And this week, my handle is the Mass Effect Legendary Edition video game, which came out this past Friday. What it is a remaster of the first three Mass Effects. You can buy it on Xbox One, Xbox Series X, PS4, and PS5. And it basically comes with an updated version of the first two Mass Effects, as well as Mass Effect 3, and that's also so it comes with a remaster of all three. It does not include Mass Effect Andromeda, which was the most recent one that came out on the Xbox One. So if you want to play that, you have to either buy it or subscribe to EA Play. But as I've said in a previous handle, this is why it's a second chance handle, I played Mass Effect 2 when Cyberpunk came out, and I was waiting for Cyberpunk to get its patch. Well, here we are in May of 2021, and Cyberpunk has still not received its patch to bring it up to date and to, current generation status. So I'm going to go back, or I've been going back, and playing the Mass Effects, and they are, the first two video games in the Mass Effect series are probably two of the greatest video games. If I knew somebody who was, say, a Twitch streamer, I would inform them to play this on their channel, despite the fact that it may not fit their theme. I think it's a pretty good game. The third one, after they did the DLC that changed the ending, it becomes a really good game. Being somebody who played it originally without the DLC is a pretty bad ending. But rest assured that the DLC is included on this one because obviously it made the game significantly better. Andromeda, skip that one. It wasn't as good. But ultimately, the first three Mass Effects, especially the first two, which are basically BioWare's like last two independent RPGs they made before EA came in and bought them out and pretty much ruined BioWare. Go check those games out. So Mass Effect Legendary Edition came out last Friday. Go buy it now. Handle. Obert, do you have a secondary handle for us or a firstary handle for us?
Yeah, I don't know if I have. I think I've made this a handle before. I've been into making pizzas. Pizza is one of my favorite foods and something that I love making at home.
I think it's everybody's favorite food.
Yeah.
Pizza's pretty good.
I've done pretzels as a handle. I know I've done that before. I started to make my own pizza dough. I have a pizza stone, which I think was a handle like 100 episodes ago. But I recently bought a pizza peel, which is the thing you use to move your pizza onto your pizza stone.
Oh, you peel the pizza off of the grill and put it on a stone?
No, not off the grill. Off of like whatever your work surface that you're making it on. So like you roll out the dough, you put the sauce on it, you put the cheese, you put your toppings, and then you take a pizza peel, which I will link the one I bought to in the show notes. I bought a stainless steel one. You take the pizza peel and you slide it under it. You go over to your hot pizza stone, and you want it hot because you want to get the bottom nice and crustified, and then you slide your pizza.
I hope these make these sound effects too when I do this.
If
do. Not, I'm returning them.
The trick is you need to have the right amount of cornmeal, and you got to have a good amount of flour to get that nice lubrication to get that pizza, because you don't want it to stick to the peel. That's happened. You got to get the right amount of cornmeal.
Nice.
And flour.
Pizza sex.
To get that crust sliding good.
I don't even know what that would be.
I think we're describing it right now.
Pizza
But
sex?
Make your own pizza. Make your own dough. Whether you like it New Haven, New York, Greek style, Italian, Chicago, There's a pizza out there for you.
What if I want all of the above combined into one?
You can
pizza?
make all of the above, and almost everything but the Chicago you would want a pizza peel for. The Chicago, I think you want to just drop it in that cast iron skillet. Or
Yeah, you want a deep dish for that one.
You do want a deep dish for that one. But I bought a pizza peel. I used it, and man, I love making a pizza. I can't recommend it as a handle enough. You guys should make your own pizzas. It's a good time. It's a fun Saturday night hobby, and you get pizza at the end. How can you go wrong? So second chance handle, if I've made the Pizza Stone a handle before, get yourself a pizza peel.
I'm pretty sure you have made it a Pizza Stone a handle.
It was a long time ago.
It was a long time ago. But
it was like a 2018 Christmas present. So
yeah, so that tracks. Yeah.
Yeah.
Listen,
we haven't made pizza at home in a while, but we have done it before, and it is a lot of fun. We don't have fancy stones and peels, but
I'm never gonna hate on pizza.
Pizza's
good. If I could eat more pizza, I would. It turns out that I'm slightly allergic to gluten, so I can't eat as much pizza as I wish I could. But if I'm willing to put up with it, I eat pizza.
You know what? Out of solidarity, I'm gonna eat twice as much pizza now.
You know what? I'm glad. You should pick up my slack.
I'll do that. I can do that too. Pizza's like the beer of this podcast. If beer was a food, it would be pizza for this podcast.
Yes, that is true. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love how we're gonna get hundreds of emails saying, "Don't you know gluten's in beer?" Yes, I do know gluten's in beer. And between the two, I have chosen that I enjoy beer. And two, for some reason, beer does not give me the same effects that actual gluten does.
Fair enough. I will say there's a fond memory I have of going to Tud's house, and Mom of the Pod made this like homemade pizza. And I don't know why. I don't know, of all the times I've been
It's so good.
And I was like, I remember that to this day. I was like, damn, it's so good. It was like huge too. She made like a freaking sheet pizza. It was crazy.
Yeah,
70-inch pie.
Turns out Pampered Chef has some big pizza stones. She has them all.
But
Nice.
yeah, that I will say. So shout out to Mom of the Pod and her pizza making abilities.
And so with that, we'd like to thank you all for listening. We'd like to thank the breweries that provided today's beer. So for the second time on this podcast, I will thank Colorblind Artisanal Ales, but this time, instead of Dilated Eyes, I will thank them for their Depth Perception New England Style IPA.
For the second time, I will thank Deschutes Brewing for their fresh squeezed IPA.
And I will thank Lock City for their Shake Your Booty. Delicious.
Please make sure you head over to all social media and follow us at DAWF Podcast. Also, make sure you follow the email at dawfpodcast@gmail.com. Also, please head over to Discord, join the discussion over there. Seriously, if you want to talk to other people who are fans of the podcast, head over there. Also, make sure you head over to Patreon if you want some additional episodes of this podcast. They're usually about 20 minutes long. We do a beer review. We have some fun. There's some inside jokes that happen over there as well. You also get played a lovely saxophone tribute to you guys at the end of every episode. And for as little as 25 cents a week on weeks that are months that are 4 weeks, and 20 cents a week on months that are 5 weeks,
It's a dollar a month.
or $1 a month, you can get that easily. Or, if you'd also like to help the podcast, and you don't really want to spend any more money on us, which we understand, please head over to iTunes and give us a rating and share a review. And, if you don't even want to do that, let's just say you're like the laziest of our listeners. First of all, we still love you. But B, tell your friends and your family. All you got to do is show them a picture, grunt, write a letter, who knows. However you communicate with your family, just text them Drinking Alone with Friends podcast, and that's all you need to communicate with them for the next month. If you're that super lazy, do that too.
And the laziest sounds the most helpful out of all of those options. Telling your friends and family would be the most help that you can do for our podcast. Word of mouth is the best thing we can have.
I mean, maybe if you're a philanthropist or something and you want to sponsor the podcast.
If you're Elon Musk, don't tell your mom. Just give us money.
You know what?
Okay, how about that?
If you're Elon Musk, just transfer us some Tesla stock. Tweet out that you're going to buy some more Doge. Transfer us some Dogecoin. And we'll
tell
be
your
happy.
grandma's pastor to listen.
Yes. You know what? Include our podcast on the next Tesla that you launch into space. The aliens.
Yeah.
The aliens will listen.
Aliens.
And so with that, my name's Tud.
My name's Chris.
And I'm Obert. And remember, if you're drinking alone, do it with friends.
So, Over, you brought up golf, and I love to watch golf, but recently especially since we started the podcast, I've noticed that
when they get really close to the microphone, and they go,
and they breathe into the microphone, and I'm like, come on, guys. Like, any person who's ever done any audio medium ever knows you don't, like, go and, like, make it sound like it's
So
windy.
you're saying you're not a fan of the reverse ASMR?
I talk into the microphone too. And he,
Thank you for listening.
and he gets up to putt. Bye. But he hits the ball.